I need your help, please subscribe my channel. When Mia threw those words at me, "Go home if you're jealous," she said it with that smirk, half laughing, half challenging me. The party lights bounced off her wine glass, and her friends giggled behind her as if it were all a joke. I stood frozen, hands gripping my drink so tightly I hadn't even been sipping it. We'd been married 5 years. This was supposed to be a simple office gathering. But the moment I walked in and saw her leaning far too close to her project partner, something inside me broke. That morning she had told me, "It's a formal dinner, Jake. Please don't make it awkward. He's just a friend." I had wanted to believe her. I had tried. But watching them now, inside jokes, hands brushing like it meant nothing, I realized I didn't know this woman anymore. The confident, charming woman who once rested her head on my shoulder during long drives now laughed louder at another man's jokes than she ever had at mine. So when I quietly asked if we could leave early, she turned with that same smirk and said, "If you're jealous, go home." Everyone around us laughed. I wish I could say I stayed calm. But her tone, sharp, dismissive, cut deeper than any argument ever had. I set my glass down, nodded once, and said simply, "All right." Her smile faltered. I didn't wait to see her reaction. I walked out. Driving home, my chest felt hollow, as if someone had scooped out all the safety I once felt. I didn't even touch the radio. Just silence and the steady hum of tires against asphalt. At home, I didn't slam doors. I didn't throw anything. I just sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the framed honeymoon photo. Her in that white sundress, eyes full of laughter that had once been mine alone. Hours passed before I finally texted her. "You told me to go home." I did. No reply. By dawn, a decision had formed. Maybe it was the quiet that let me think. Or maybe I realized I had been clinging to someone who no longer wanted to be held. That morning I began packing. Not from anger but from peace. If she wanted space, I would give her more than she ever asked for. By the time Mia came home the next morning, the suitcase was zipped, and I sat on the couch with a cold cup of coffee. She froze at the sight of me, her makeup from last night smudged, heels dangling from one hand. "Jake, what are you doing?" she asked, slowly setting her purse down. I looked at her quietly. "You told me to go home if I was jealous." "I did, now I'm taking it a step further." She blinked, confused. "You're overreacting. It was a party. You embarrassed me by storming out." I almost laughed. "Embarrassed you? You mocked your husband in front of everyone, Mia. And somehow I'm the problem." She folded her arms, defense, the habit I knew so well. "You're always so sensitive about who I talk to. Every man I laugh with must be after me. It's exhausting." I nodded, slowly taking it in. Maybe it wasn't them I was jealous of. It was what she became when she was around them. She rolled her eyes. "You're making this bigger than it is. You're not seriously leaving over this, are you?" I stood, lifted the suitcase, and said, "No. I'm leaving because this has been happening for months, and I kept pretending it wasn't." For the first time in a long while, she had no comeback. The silence hung heavier than any fight we'd ever had. She watched me move to the door, and for a moment fear flashed across her face. She hadn't expected me to follow through. "Jake, wait," she said, voice trembling. "You can't just walk away. We're married." I turned. "You're right. We were. But somewhere between office parties and late-night texts, I think you forgot what that meant." Her lip quivered as she stepped forward, as if to stop me. I stepped back. "Don't. You wanted space. I'm just giving it to you." The door clicked shut behind me. I didn't look back. Days passed. She didn't call. I stayed with a friend, trying to untangle what I was feeling. Anger, sadness, maybe a strange mix of both. But there was also relief, a calm I hadn't known in years. A week later, her message appeared. "Please come home." I stared at it long and hard. Just 3 words, simple but heavy with everything she hadn't said that night. Part of me wanted to rush back, to believe maybe this was her realization. But another part, the part that had spent months unseen, told me to wait. I didn't reply immediately. I went for a walk, letting the morning air clear my head. Each step reminded me how much I'd compromised, how many jokes I'd laughed off, how many nights I'd stayed silent to keep the peace. Mia had built a version of herself that fit every social circle, but left no space for the man she had promised to love. That afternoon I called her. "Jake." she whispered, softer than I'd ever heard. I'm sorry. I went too far. I shouldn't have said what I did. I know, I said. But that's not what hurt most. She hesitated. Then what did? That you didn't expect me to mean it when I left. You stopped taking me seriously long ago. You thought I'd always stay no matter how far you pushed, I said. Long silence. Her uneven breath filled the line. I didn't realize how much I'd changed, she said finally. I thought I was confident, independent, but I was cruel. You didn't deserve that. For the first time she sounded human, tired, real. I don't hate you, Mia. I just can't keep being someone's afterthought. You wanted freedom. I wanted respect. Maybe we can't have both in the same space anymore. Tears broke her voice. I can change, Jake. Please just come home. We can fix this. I wanted to believe her. But sometimes love dies not with shouting, but with silence, the slow erosion of trust, laughter, and small kindnesses. I'll come by tomorrow, I said finally. We'll talk, but I'm not promising anything. After hanging up, I felt neither victory nor bitterness. Just freedom. For once I wasn't reacting. I was choosing peace. That night, watching the sunset from my friend's balcony, I realized something. Jealousy had never been the problem. It was neglect disguised as confidence. Distance disguised as independence. And when she told me to go home, I finally did, just not to hers.